How you doing? How you doing? And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Petty, and I appreciate you stopping by today. And I wish today we were coming up to talk about Punishing Gray Raven's release and touching on some of that. For those of you guys that don't know, gameplay-wise, it is amazing, very fun. How the game is being managed at launch and some of the smoke and fires we're seeing. We're probably going to have to do a video talking about that tomorrow to kind of break everything down. But there's been something on my mind that I saw a couple of days ago that has me terrified. Absolute, like every red flag that could be going off is just blaring and pounding at the door right now. So what we're going to be taking a look at today and talking about is essentially the emerging of cryptocurrencies trying to make their way into mobile gaming. Now, you might be rightfully confused as, like, why is Doge trying to come in my games, dog? It's very interesting, but there's a lot of things that I want to talk about here, and we're going to take a look at a specific game here in a little while to go over some of these concerns. But this is something that we've heard some whispers about and seen a couple examples popping up this year, but we haven't really seen anything concrete. Some of that stuff is starting to take form, but in such a way that it should inspire absolutely zero confidence, and we should be a little concerned. Now, right off the bat, I just want to make sure that you guys understand that this is not legal advice. And this is not financial advice, okay? Not doing a pump and dump here. We're not trying to push anybody on any cryptos or anything of that like. Your boy's too poor to worry about all that stuff, so usually we just mind our own business. But it's starting to eke into the world of mobile gaming. And while there have been some really amazing cryptocurrencies out there, there have been far more, let's call them scams. Because there's been a lot of legitimate scams. Save the Kids being one of them. Rap Doge being a potential another one. We'll see how that situation develops. But it is an emerging market. So there is a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of uncertainties. And that makes it so that some people are able to take advantage of that and of people's conception that they could potentially make a lot of money on these. And they essentially end up scamming a lot of people. So my concern is with cryptos being brought into mobile gaming. There's a lot of good things that could happen from there. You could potentially make some money on some of your games. There's a lot of games that allow you to own items that you can buy and trade with other people. We've seen that with CSGO. There's Rust skins that people do that, and whole gambling sites set up for those. There's also been a fair amount of controversy in those sites, so keep that in mind, kids. But it's nothing necessarily new that you can own something in a game and be able to sell it and make money. Now, there are plenty of games that don't allow anything of that sort, and you can get your accounts banned for doing something like that. But this is in the line of they are portraying that these games will essentially give you the ability to own items and be able to sell them, and you'll really own a piece of the game that you're playing. That sounds really, really good. Sounds like that could be absolutely amazing. I don't know if that's what we're gonna get, everybody. So let's go ahead and take a look at our example. We're gonna take a look at Guild of Guardians. And please, God, don't sue me. Your boy's broke, like I said. We very, very poor. Look, it's paint all over my hands. I smell a little funny. We ain't got money, okay? You ain't gonna get nothing out of me. Nothing out of me. Ain't no worth here. So this is potentially an amazing product. I'm seeing a lot of things that personally make me very, very, very concerned. The first time I heard about this and started doing some Googling and digging around, I found a lot of instances of where there's no real description of what the game actually is, or what the point of it is, or how the systems are going to be defined. I've seen a lot of things that are commonly used in, I don't want to say marketing scams, but anytime someone is trying to sell you something and they are not giving you a concrete, this is what it is, this is how it works, and this is how you are going to get access to it, and instead has just a bunch of very positive sounding adjectives that are still kind of vague. So you don't really know what you're getting and you don't really know what the game is. I'm not going to say that that is 100% an indication of a scam. I'm just going to say that it sounds pretty scammy. So I personally having a lot of concern about what we're seeing. But let's actually take a look at some of the things going on with Guild of Guardians. Now, a couple of things is I did look into the developer to the best of my ability and the publisher to the best of my ability. Stepaco is based out of Ukraine and has a few games under their belt that they have claimed to do work for on their site. When you go to the actual games underneath either the Play Store or their associated websites, there's nothing that I can find that actually connects this company to those games, just that they have a website themselves that claims that they have done work on them. So that may be true, may not. I have no way to confirm or deny that one. Immutable? I really could only find a Twitter that did not inspire confidence. So we're going to just go ahead and drive right past that. So there's a couple of things on this site. They're boosting over 120,000 pre-registers for the game already. That sounds pretty impressive. Also claims that they've given away $150,000 of NFTs, which are fundable? No. We had to look this up earlier, and here's the evidence of us having to do that. Non-fungible. Okay. And yeah, you might want to go Google this stuff on your own time, because I don't want to make too much of the video trying to explain what NFTs are, because it's a little confusing like everything else in the crypto world. Let's stay focused and look at a game that is claiming to be built on NFTs and bringing cryptocurrencies into mobile gaming. So again, we've seen that they've tried to claim that they're giving away $150,000 worth of NFTs. Cool. Seeing the buy button a few times, actually 3 times. Buy buttons all over the place. So just keep going through. Again, a lot of this stuff is interesting on paper. I don't know what we're going to actually see from it. But let's take a look at, I think this is the right one, hero summons. Because if we're going to have a gacha game with cryptocurrencies, let's get an idea of what this hero pool is looking like and what kind of other information they're providing here. So, right off the back, we got 8 champions. Just 8 champions being advertised right now. It's interesting. I would think there would be a lot more for the size that they're boasting. There's 120,000 people already lining up to be on this game. You would think there might be a little bit more here. But let's keep scrolling to the part that literally makes my heart stop. So this is one of the reasons that I am huge red flags already. So outside of this, and I don't know how we would find it on their site, but they've also sold guilds. People can go ahead and pay money to reserve a guild in this game, and some of the price tags I saw going with that stuff is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, which is pretty insane for a game that has very little to show or demonstrate at this point. So that was already my first giant big red flag. Let's look at this one, because it's been on the screen and you probably looked at it yourself a little bit. So we've got the normal gacha pulls. We've got the normal summons, essentially, for the rare hero. Let's call them 3 stars, because that's how a lot of these games do it. Then we've got the epic heroes that they're selling. So this would be a, there's a couple of different games that'll break this up in different ways, but these are the more premium currencies. And then we've got legendary hero that they're apparently completely sold out of. I hope to God that's not true, because that means people have spent entirely too much money on this already for something that is very hard to verify actually exists and actually is going to succeed. These are single summons. Single summons in this game being sold for $10 a pop for the bare minimum 3-star monsters. That's already insanely expensive, but if you own it and you are able to sell it and get money back on it, okay, maybe I could understand a bit of the increase. At 4 stars costing $55, but don't worry, guys. Don't worry. They're cutting you a sale right now. You can go ahead and buy these things, save 20% on them. And you better act now, because they've already sold out of the legendary heroes for $250 a pop. I love mobile gaming. I believe in mobile gaming. It is the most accessible market for most people to be able to play and game together. And it is also, unfortunately, the market that is the most rife with predatory practices, scammy games. There is a lot of dirty money in mobile gaming. And part of what we like to do on this channel is try to point out some of those games to you guys to make sure that you understand some of the practices that are going on behind the scene that are there to pressure you to spend money. That exists in a lot of mobile games, and it's something that the consumers should be very, very aware of. But because it is such an unregulated market, that doesn't happen. You guys have no real protections in mobile gaming besides trying to just refund your stuff through the Google or Apple Play Store. That's about it. That's kind of all you got. So the fact that we're starting to see cryptocurrency starting to get tied into mobile gaming should raise everybody's blood pressure, because this is already a market that has so much predatory practices in it that this coming in is either going to be great and I'm completely wrong and blowing everything out of proportion, or this is the new level of scam. And that's what I'm really worried about. And that's why I want to make sure that we're cautioning you guys to really heavily consider before putting any money into a project like this, because there's no guarantee that when this game comes out, if this game comes out, that it's going to be worth anything, that these summons that they've sold you for some of the highest prices in the entire mobile game industry, there's no guarantee here. You could be potentially lighting every single dollar you put into this on fire. I'd be careful. I'd be real careful. It's about as careful as I'm trying to be with my wording right now to make sure that we don't get fucking sued for this. But this is insane. I don't like this. Personally, I think that this is at best going to be, well, no, let's be a little bit more fair. If everything that some of these games, and I'm not just talking about Guild of Guardians here, because there are several other games that are trying to combine mobile gaming and cryptocurrencies. At best, this is the evolution of mobile gaming and you as a consumer owning more of the product. That would be great if that's how it worked out, but if I was a gambling man, and I'm not a gambling man, I have a hard time believing that this is going to work out. Mobile games are very, very, very volatile, and sometimes even the littlest things, as the developers making the wrong kind of joke, can inflame a community and cause the game significant damage. So even if we were talking about products that are safe to invest in, I wouldn't put this in those categories because it is very, very easy for multitudes of reasons for these games to get heavily impacted. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be a developer faux pas or some bug in the game. Enough of the community can just get mad and convince enough other people that their reasons for being mad are valid, whether they are or not. And that can have a huge impact on these games. A lot of mobile games don't have a very long shelf life. A lot of them do very well initially, and that'll sometimes last a couple of months before it dies down very, very dramatically. And this process over the last couple of years, because I've been following mobile gaming since 2014, 2015, we've been around here. That process is getting faster. These games are having shorter and shorter lifespans. So the amount of money that people are spending in these games is dying off fairly quickly in terms of how long it's actually being played and how long your investment is actually lasting. And that process is happening faster and faster with these games, to where I've seen a game launch, been loved for a week or two, and then been dead in a month. My Hero is an excellent one for that, even though they earned that death. They did a bunch of crazy stuff. But it's not something that I would ever be comfortable putting any amount of money in myself, outside of, maybe a discretionary $50 to $100 that I am absolutely okay with losing. But some of the price tags for some of the things being sold in these games, before the games are even live, or there's even a real, here's what the game is pretty crazy. And I think should be a huge concern for you guys as consumers. And I just, it's pretty nuts. It's pretty crazy. So I just wanted to make a video where we talk about the fact that this is starting to become a thing. So you guys should expect to see more projects like the one we took a look at today, and probably in an increasing number of them. And it could be great. I could just be, Chicken Little right now and saying that the sky is falling. But I really recommend that you guys be very, very careful about introducing any of your personal money in this, especially if it's anything from your savings or anything like that. This is incredibly volatile, and I'm personally going to wait to see how any of this plays out before getting involved with some of these, because as of right now, it's a pretty penny for a promise. And if this was maybe coming from bigger studios, bigger developers that had a longer track history, I would say that maybe those will have more merits, and maybe over the next year or two, we will see some games come out like that. As of right now, all of these projects are coming from companies that you have to Google to find anything about because you've never heard of them before. And again, there's a lot of money that is being asked for to participate in this stuff. So in an age where we're seeing a lot of crypto scams, I wanted to make sure that since it's now coming into mobile gaming, that we go ahead and touch on that, because it's insane. It's insane. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that this is the future of gaming, and that you are going to have more ownership over your characters in these games and that you have the ability to potentially profit from them. Everything about that sounds great in my opinion. I don't know that's what we're actually going to see happen. So be careful, guys. Just be careful. That's it. That's all I got to say. Just be careful and be aware that this is a thing so that you don't come across this in an advertisement, get sold on it, and then start putting your own money in before anything bad happens. We'll just leave it at that for legal reasons, because yeah, your boy has no money. Like, I'm sure they can try and sue me, but I ain't got nothing. I don't know. But just be careful, protect yourselves, and we'll see what happens. If we get any more news of crypto stuff popping up in the mobile gaming world, we'll of course circle back around to it and talk about it more. So far, this is the biggest project that I've seen pop up from that, so that's why we used it as an example. But there's a lot of other ones out there right now, and just be careful. That's all I got. All right, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you for stopping by today. You're gonna have to catch your boy on the next one, cause we out of here. Deuces.